Greetings everyone, welcome to my review of IDW Sonic Issue 3. As you can see, we're about to be reintroduced to the Rad Red himself, Knuckles the Echidna. But before we do, let's recap the events of last issue. Sonic met up with Amy during a badnik attack, which was an attempt by the mysterious mastermind to get rid of them both. Our heroes were triumphant, all while Amy tried in vain to have Sonic rejoin the resistance. She did point Sonic towards Knuckles' current location, a town that has these two individuals. Now, as always, spoiler alert. Sonic reaches the town just as Knuckles pounds into a Death Egg robot sentinel. So, these things were supposed to be a threat, huh? The two meet up and you had to say the line, Knuckles.
Long time no see.
He's here because Wispin's shipments have stopped coming from this town, which is a hub for distribution. The Lookout's under orders not to let anyone in the town. Unfortunately for the Lookout, these are two individuals who don't give a flying flip. The townsfolk scurry towards their homes, and Sonic thinks the badniks really shook these people. Lookout Guy informs Sonic and Knuckles about the real reason that people are scared. Two mercenaries arrive near the end of the war to save the town from badniks, only for them to take the town's arsenal and imprison everyone in their own town. The townsfolk have to do everything the mercenaries say, and leaving's out of the question due to the badniks outside. After being told the mercenaries' location, a converted supply depot, Sonic and Knuckles head off. Inside, they find a stockpile of wisps. Knuckles says the Wisps volunteered their services to help everyone during the fight against Eggman, which kinda makes this image of them being stockpiled like this sad. Soon we see the two responsible as they harass the townsfolk. Let's see, I see two girls fanning them, one of them is being used as a footstool, another one is serving cupcakes, and finally, some guy in a jester hat with spilt drinks. Okay, Sonic and Knuckles, time to be heroes. The mercenaries introduce themselves as Ruff, the short one, and Tumble, the big one, in a very Team Rocket-esque way. Well, they did gather a bunch of small critters to be used as weapons. Anyway, the fight begins with Knuckles taking on the agile Ruff and Sonic the strong Tumble. Things aren't going well at first for our heroes. Sonic's tossed like a basketball, and Knuckles has lost some dignity. Ruff, you really had to use the skunk spray, didn't ya? The heroes eventually rebound, literally in Sonic's case. The Skunk Brothers are done playing around and break out the Wispins. Knuckles wants Sonic to do the same, but the Hedgehog has a better idea. He appeals to the Wisps, stating how he saved their planet, and a number of them stuck around to help him in the Lost Hex and the Resistance against Eggman. They don't need to help Ruff and Tumble bully these people. It works, and all the Wisps leave the Wispins. Without the means to bully the town, Ruff and Tumble are defeated. The citizens free the Wisps, and the aliens decide to continue helping them defend the town via the Wispins. Before being led away, Ruff and Tumble swear vengeance against Sonic and Knuckles. In your dreams, guys. Knuckles thanks Sonic and hopes that with things winding down, he can return to Angel Island. Sonic himself would like a vacation, but there's still the mystery of the organized badniks he needs to solve. But for the moment, he's going to party with the town. The Mastermind observes this, noting that without Knuckles on Angel Island, the Master Emerald is ripe for the taking. Uh-oh. Creating original characters to fulfill story purposes can be tricky, especially if there are game characters that can fulfill the same role. For example, Sonic name-dropped the Hooligans. The Hooligans were a group of mercenaries made up of obscure game characters Fang the Sniper, Bean the Dynamite, and Bark the Polar Bear. They first formed in the Archie Sonic comics. I don't know if it was meant to be an Easter egg, but if they do exist in this universe, I could see them do this sort of thing. So why have Ruff and Tumble in the first place? After all, they appeared as thugs that really need a good dose of Clear Eyes. For story purposes, they serve as a counterpoint to Sonic and Knuckles. They came during a time when the people were suffering constant Eggman attacks. They saved the town, but took it over themselves. Sonic and Knuckles arrive when the people feared punishment from Ruff and Tumble, only to defeat the mercenaries and actually free the town. It helps that Knuckles trashed the badniks outside earlier. Ruff and Tumble, while agile and strong respectively, used fear tactics and the Wispin arsenal to keep the populace in line. The arrival of Sonic and Knuckles brought hope back to this place. A perfect example is the Lookout guy's behavior. He's reluctant to share information to Sonic and Knuckles at first, but as he explains the situation, you'll notice he's becoming confident in his speech, and after sending them towards the supply depot, his words seem to have hope again. Likewise, Sonic points out the bravery of the Wisp to aid those in need and not to work for those who uses fear against the people. This robbed Rough and Tumble of their true power. As I said, while the mercenaries are agile and strong, Sonic and Knuckles are much better at being those naturally. That and the latter two are game characters. Speaking of Knuckles, he's not good at dealing with the aftermath of the war. He'd rather go back to his old life on Angel Island. So why not hand off leadership to Amy and get going? My guess is people looked up to Knuckles almost as much as Sonic, and him bailing now may not be a good move for the moment. Though as noted, Angel Island, and most importantly, the Master Emerald, is vulnerable. Something tells me this plot point won't get resolved next issue, along with the revelation of the Mastermind's identity. The reason is, as of this video's release, issue 7's solicitation had just came out, and it hinted at secrets and revelations about the comic's first major villain, possibly the Mastermind, which means Eggman may not be a candidate after all. I could be wrong though, but something to think about. It seems odd Sonic would stay to party in this town while he left the previous two after solving their problems, especially since he still has the organized badnik issue to solve. Well, Sonic needs a breather every once in a while. Plus, unlike the previous two towns, this one's well defended on the outside. It makes sense being a major hub for Wispin distribution. The town itself came out relatively unscathed. The fight between the heroes and the mercenaries was confined to one building, and Knuckles already dealt with the badniks by the time Sonic arrived. While it seemed jerkish for Sonic to up and leave the previous two towns after suffering collateral damage, it does show Sonic having faith in both Tails and Amy, that they can help the populace of those towns. The art in this issue is done by Jennifer Hernandez, another artist who worked on the Archie Sonic comics, most notably the Waves of Change storyline. Her work, combined with that of colorist Heather Breckel, gives the book a lighter feel compared to Adam's art in the previous issue. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy artists bring their own style to the comics. The thing is, some readers might feel that the different art styles may be a bit jarring. One more thing to note is, if you follow Jennifer on any social media, especially Twitter, she posts a series of drawings involving her original characters, usually paired with a game character. I say this because she manages to use her original characters as actual background characters. That's pretty awesome. To wrap this up, issue 3 shows us that there are those out there willing to prey on the desperate, and that bravery can come from anywhere. Plus, it explains why some Wisps stuck around after the events of Sonic Colors. Will Rough and Tumble reappear in the future? Who's to say? It may depend on how people feel about them. Speaking of comic exclusive characters, issue 4 will see the debut of the first heroic character not from the games, along with the appearance of Blaze the Cat, which we'll take a look at next time. Wait, did Knuckles ever get rid of his stink? If not, I think you should give him a tomato juice bath before partying.